Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about tripods. Now, there's a lot of information to go through here. I'm trying to keep these down to under 10 minutes in length, so we'll get right into it. So what's a tripod? Well, pretty simple. Tripod is something with three legs that you set up, that you can open the legs, close the legs, lock the legs, adjust the height of the legs so that it holds your camera more steady. So that's what a tripod is. Three legs, tripod. So that's your tripod. Now, like the monopod that we talked about earlier, there's different types, there's different quality, and so on and so forth. Again, this one here doesn't have a quick release head. Most of the tripods that you get nowadays have a quick release head. This one doesn't. This one, like most tripods, you can adjust the neck height on the tripod as well as you can adjust the leg height. You can get tripods from small, 4 inches tall, all the way up to that will be 8 feet tall if you want to get the big heavy ones that they use commercially for doing movies and such. It allows you to turn the head, tilt the head, so on and so forth. So that's what a tripod is. Now, like the monopod, you can get different ways of tightening the legs down. This one is a screw lock. You can also get the clip lock. You can get quick release heads like I mentioned before. Here's the big thing. In just about everything in the world, the quality that you buy is usually the quality that you get. If you go out and buy a $30 tripod, it's a $30 tripod. If you go out and buy a $600, $700, or $1,000 tripod, it's usually a lot better quality than the cheaper ones. So especially in tripods, please beware. You're going to come out to basically 3 different types of tripods when you go to look. You're going to go and get see your discount store ones, your drugstore ones. Cheap, made out of aluminum, quite light, but they bend, they fall apart. You can't adjust anything. You get what you pay for. I've had them. I've actually used them for my students. I had a bunch of them that I'd take out on location when I was teaching on location. They worked for probably a year, maybe 2 years if I was lucky, and then they were done. If something happened to them, you could not replace any parts to them. Then you get into what I call the mid-level, which is actually what this one is. I've had this one since the 80s, and this one's made out of metal. It is heavy. It is, I would say, 10 pounds, maybe 12 pounds. It is a heavy sucker. It has stood up all the years that I've had it with no problems. Things have fallen off of it. Things have gotten bent on it, but it stood up really well. The problem is you wouldn't want to carry it very far because it's heavy. Then you can get into what's called the carbon fiber or the alternate material tripods, that they're very light, like the aluminum ones, but they're built so that you can replace pieces if they break. You can add on, you can take off, you can change, so on and so forth. Generally, I find that they're way overpriced, but the good news is when you buy one, you've probably got a tripod for life because they're that good. So before you go out and spend $20, $50, even $100, even $150, check to see what's the next one up. Go to a camera store and talk to a trusted person there and ask them to show you the different quality tripods and see what's there. Ask them what you can replace. Ask them what you can change. Ask how they stand up. And here's a quick trick to do. Do the pressure test. Now what that is I'm going to just put it on here, but extend it to the floor, lock everything in place, then put your hands on top and pull down hard. Now, if it's a cheap tripod, please don't do this in the store because you'll probably break it. But if it's a better quality tripod and you want to know how good it is, if you pull down and you start wiggling it, and if it stays rock solid, it's probably going to be a good tripod for quite a while. If you pull down on it and you've got everything locked and you pull down and it still folds up, then you have a problem. But if you lock everything in place really tight and you cannot move that, you know you got yourself a better quality tripod. Now, screws or clips for adjustment, again, it's a personal thing. If you have trouble with muscles. If you have trouble with grip, get the clips. On the better quality tripods, these are actually adjustable. These work well, but they can be a pain. When it gets cold, they can be difficult to use. So just watch that. On this one here, I put some foam on it so that when it's 35 below, it's a little bit warmer to handle. Even with gloves, when I hold the metal, you can feel it through the gloves. So that's what I've done to this one. Now let's get into all the misinformation on tripods. Many people who will talk about tripods and they'll tell you that they're the all and end all, have no clue what a tripod does and what it doesn't do. They're just parroting information that they've read or that they've heard, and they've never actually gone out and done a test themselves. So first of all, tripod is designed to hold your camera still. As long as it's not windy, as long as you're not on something that's shaking, like trying to set it up in the back of a pickup truck and the pickup truck's still moving, tripods won't fix any of that stuff. You cannot counter the wind. 90 kilometers an hour, 120 kilometers an hour, a tripod's still going to shake. If it's in the back of a truck, if it's on something that's not stable, it's still going to move. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that when you set up a tripod and you're taking a picture of something like a mountain, it's going to work really well because the mountain's not moving, and if the tripod's stable, it's not moving. But if you're using a tripod and you're trying to take pictures of a subject that's moving and you're using slower shutter speeds, you're still going to get movement. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves. I've heard so-called professional photographers stand up in classes and say, use a tripod. It solves all your problems. It doesn't. If you're doing astrophotography and you're using a tripod, if you shoot too long, you're going to get movement in the stars. If you're taking pictures of two elk that are battling it out and they're moving back and forth and you're using 15th of a second or 10th of a second or even 1 second, you're going to get these blurry things. The mountain's going to be sharp. The ground's going to be sharp as long as there's not wind and grass is moving, but you're still going to have blurry subject. So please understand, tripod cannot stop the subject from moving. A tripod stops movement of the camera, of the lens. It helps to stabilize it, but it doesn't stop the movement itself. So that's what it does and what it doesn't do. Which one do I recommend? Watch the next video. I'm going to talk about how to hold your camera correctly and what one I recommend for different situations. So talk to you soon. Have a great day. Click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel and the like button for this video, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.